Hey everyone, welcome back. Sending you all the biggest virtual hug and my warmest wishes for amazing health, happiness, and a day filled with positive energy. Seriously, taking a moment to explore the wonders of our world together is a gift, and I truly hope you're feeling fantastic right now. Today, we're heading to a place of fire and ice, epic glaciers, and steaming volcanoes, the stunning land of Iceland. But we're not talking about its dramatic landscapes or the northern lights. Instead, we're diving into something utterly bizarre, something that makes Iceland almost unique on our entire planet. It has no mosquitoes. None. Zero. Zip. Imagine a summer evening outdoors. No annoying buzzing in your ears. No itchy bites on your skin. For most of us, that sounds like a dream. But for Icelanders, it's just normal life. How is this even possible? Let's unravel this fascinating, bite-free mystery. First off, let's be clear, mosquitoes are pretty much everywhere. From the steamy jungles of the Amazon to the icy tundra of Siberia, these tiny, buzzing insects have conquered almost every corner of Earth. There are over 3,500 species found on every continent except Antarctica. They thrive in the Arctic Circle, buzzing around in Greenland, Alaska, Norway, Sweden, Finland, and even other islands like the UK and Ireland. They're masters of survival, adapting to crazy conditions. So, why not Iceland? It's not like Iceland is some tropical paradise. It's got plenty of cold, wet, boggy areas, the kind of spots mosquitoes usually love for laying eggs. You'd think it would be prime mosquito real estate. Yet, somehow, they've never managed to set up a permanent home there. It's a geographical head-scratcher that scientists have been piecing together for years. The answer isn't just one simple thing. It's a perfect, lucky storm of three main factors: Iceland's wild, unpredictable weather, its unique geology, and its island isolation. Let's start with the weather. Iceland's climate is famously dramatic. Sure, it has cool summers, but that's not the whole story. The real mosquito killer is the sheer instability. Iceland sits right where cold Arctic air smashes into warmer Atlantic air, creating a weather battleground. This means temperatures can swing wildly, sometimes within just hours. Imagine a lovely, mild day perfect for mosquitoes to hatch and buzz around, and then VM. A sudden, deep freeze hits. Or a warm spell triggers mosquitoes to lay eggs in a thawed puddle, only for a rapid cold snap to freeze that water solid again hours later. For mosquitoes trying to complete their life cycle, from egg to larva, those wiggly things in water, to pupa to flying adult, this constant yo-yoing is disastrous. Their development depends on consistent warmth. If the water they're growing in freezes solid repeatedly, the larvae or pupae die. It's like trying to build a house of cards in a wind tunnel. They just can't get a stable foothold. This isn't just a winter thing. These unpredictable freezes can happen even in spring and summer, constantly resetting any attempt by mosquitoes to establish a breeding population. Next up is Iceland's incredible volcanic geology. This is the fire part of fire and ice. Iceland is basically a giant volcano sitting on the mid-Atlantic ridge, where tectonic plates are pulling apart. This means the land is incredibly young and active, constantly being reshaped by eruptions and geothermal heat. Now, what does this have to do with mosquitoes? A lot, actually. Mosquito larvae need still or slow-moving freshwater to develop. Think ponds, marshes, ditches, water-filled containers, or even just damp soil. But Iceland's ground is special. Much of its soil is volcanic ash and gravel, which is super porous. Water doesn't sit on top of it for long. It drains away incredibly quickly, like pouring water into a colander. There simply aren't many long-lasting, stagnant pools of water lying around. The water that does pool often comes from glacial meltwater, which is usually cold, fast-moving, and often full of fine sediment. This isn't cozy nursery material for mosquito babies. The combination of rapid drainage and cold, fast-flowing water creates an environment that's really tough for mosquitoes to exploit consistently. Even the wetlands and bogs that exist tend to be flushed or disturbed frequently. Finally, there's the island factor. Iceland is a remote island way out in the North Atlantic Ocean. The nearest major land masses are Greenland, which has mosquitoes, about 300 kilometers away, and mainland Europe over 1,000 kilometers away. Mosquitoes aren't strong flyers over huge ocean distances. They typically spread by hitching rides on wind currents, animals, or humans. While individual mosquitoes might occasionally get blown over to Iceland by strong storms, especially from Greenland, it's rare. And even if a few pregnant females do make the journey, they face that brutal double whammy already waiting: the unstable weather that kills off their offspring before they can reproduce, and the lack of ideal breeding sites. It's like a few explorers arriving on a hostile shore with no tools or shelter. They might survive briefly, but they can't build a lasting colony. This isolation has protected Iceland for thousands of years, preventing any large-scale, natural colonization event. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what about human travel? Couldn't mosquitoes sneak in on planes or ships? Absolutely, this is the big modern worry. Mosquitoes are notorious stowaways. They hide in aircraft landing gear, cargo holds, or even inside ships and shipping containers. With Iceland's busy airports and ports connecting it to mosquito-infested regions, the risk is real. In fact, there have been sightings. Individual mosquitoes occasionally get detected at airports or near ports. The most famous case was in the 1980s, when a few mosquitoes were found inside a plane at Keflavik Airport. More recently, in 2019, a single live mosquito was actually captured inside a greenhouse in Iceland. It caused a minor sensation among scientists. But here's the crucial part: these are just lone individuals or maybe a tiny handful. None of these sightings have ever led to an established breeding population. Why? Because the harsh Icelandic environment acts like a natural barrier. Even if a female mosquito arrives and lays eggs, the chances of those eggs surviving the wild temperature swings and finding suitable, stable, stagnant water long enough to hatch, grow, pupate, emerge as adults, and then find mates to start the cycle again are incredibly slim. It's like winning the lottery while dodging lightning bolts. So, what does this mean for Icelanders and visitors? Well, for locals, it's just a fact of life they often take for granted. Many Icelanders have never seen a mosquito in their own country. They don't own mosquito nets. They don't stock up on bug spray for summer camping trips. The concept of a mosquito bite is something they might only experience when traveling abroad. For tourists, especially those arriving from mosquito-heavy areas in summer, it's often a delightful surprise. Imagine hiking near a lake at dusk, surrounded by nature, and realizing it's completely silent. No buzzing, no swatting, just peace. It adds a unique layer of enjoyment to exploring Iceland's incredible outdoors. But scientists aren't taking this for granted. With climate change warming the Arctic faster than almost anywhere else on Earth, the question looms: could mosquitoes finally conquer Iceland? Warmer average temperatures might mean fewer killing frosts in spring and summer. Warmer conditions could also potentially create more temporary pools of stagnant water. Researchers are actively monitoring. They set traps near airports and ports. They study potential breeding sites. The discovery of that lone mosquito in 2019 was a wake-up call, a reminder that the door isn't completely locked, just incredibly difficult to open. Iceland remains a fascinating natural experiment, a place where the combination of geology, weather, and isolation creates a rare, fragile shield against one of the world's most widespread pests. The lack of mosquitoes also has some quirky side effects. Icelandic biologists studying insects might need to travel abroad just to learn how to identify mosquitoes properly. Museums in Iceland might proudly display a single mosquito specimen as a rare curiosity. And it sparks fascinating conversations about ecosystems. While mosquitoes are a nuisance to us, they are food for birds, bats, fish, and other insects. Does their absence impact Iceland's ecology? Interestingly, Iceland's bird life, like the famous Arctic terns and puffins and other insect eaters, seem to do just fine. They feast on abundant midges, small, non-biting flies that do thrive in Iceland, black flies, and other insects. The ecosystem has evolved without mosquitoes, so it doesn't miss them. Ultimately, Iceland's mosquito-free status is a remarkable testament to the power of geography, climate, and chance. It's a fragile anomaly in a world teeming with these insects. It reminds us how specific conditions can create unique biological realities. For now, Iceland stands as a rare sanctuary, a place where humans and nature coexist without that familiar summer buzz. It's a place where you can truly enjoy the midnight sun or the glow of the aurora without slapping your neck. So, the next time you're swarmed by mosquitoes on a summer evening, just close your eyes for a second and imagine the peace of Iceland, a land forged by fire and ice, where one of nature's tiniest terrors simply never got a foothold. It's a quirky, wonderful reminder of our planet's incredible diversity and the surprising ways different environments shape life. Thanks so much for joining me on this bug-free adventure. Take care of yourselves, stay curious, and I truly hope you have a wonderful, healthy, and itch-free week ahead. See you next time.